Hello my crafty friends, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel, Turquoise Dreaming. This is Sheree and I'm here today to do a little craft with me. So I don't know how long this will take. It seems like it might be pretty short, but we'll see how long it actually takes to make what I have in my head. I haven't made one yet, but I did start on. These are some little pieces that pretty much you can see everything I'm working with here. These are some paper scraps, scrapbook paper that are scraps, some baker's twine, I got my art glitter glue scissors, and my crocodile. And these bits and pieces right here were from Happy Mail from Mardell, and she had sent these little pictures that look like they're from a yearbook, and she cut them out with some kind of edge scissors, so they have a little kind of like a postage stamp edge, and they're really cool because she cut them out in a way so I could choose either side. Like you can see the picture of the whole person's face or head on, either side. I could choose either side to go with. So that's kind of fun. And then these little tea tags right here, yogi tea, I guess. And so I thought these could be fun to combine the two of these. Now, so I don't have enough pictures to cover all of these. And I do have a yearbook, but I didn't. I'm trying to, and I do this with not just Happy Mail. I do it with things I bring home from the thrift store. A lot of times I'll try to use them right away so I don't have to put them away. I don't know if I'm being lazy or productive there, but yeah, that's what I do a lot of times. So that's what I'm doing. I haven't put any of Mardell's stuff away. I've just been using it all, and I try to keep up with my scraps. So put two and two together and see what you can come up with. So anyway, these little tea tags have the name, I guess, the brand of the tea, and on the other side they have a nice little encouraging or interesting quote. So I didn't want to cover up the quote with any of the pictures, so I did this one already. Here's one of the tea tags, and I just put the little picture on there so you can see it does fit on there. I did have to cut off the corners, just barely, like a teeny tiny bit of the corner, but now I have it ready to go. And so let's do the next step on, well, let's do all of these. Let's kind of organize let's try to be organized here. So what I need to do is, see, I have three more pictures. So I need to go ahead and glue them down. So I need 3 tea tags. I'm just picking them out randomly. I'm not going to look at the quotes and see which one I want to pick out, because I'm going to use all of these, but so now I need to pick a side of the picture. So I'm just going to look at that real quick and see if there's any kind of difference that I see. It's almost like either one is good. You don't have to, either one you pick, it's going to be good. It's just little black and white, like yearbook photo looking pictures, which they're probably, they look like pictures from yearbooks vintage yearbooks that I have. So I would imagine that's what they're from. So that's all I did with the first one that you already saw that I showed you. Just glued it down, try to get it in the center, and top to bottom, side to side, and then just cut off the little tips. See, there's just, you probably can't even see it, but there's just barely a little tip right there. And you don't really even have to cut it off. I just want it to be even. Really would like it to be even with the tea tag, so that's why I'm cutting it off. So there's another one. Now we're going to do more with it, but just one step at a time here, kind of like get a little assembly line going. So I like this girl over here. She has a very nice smile, so I'm going to go with her. Very nice smile. She looks like somebody I know, but it's nobody. I don't know who it is, but it really does look like somebody I know. Isn't that funny? Okay. It's somebody in my family, actually. Somebody I'm related to. Oh, no, wait a minute. She's a step, that's right. A step aunt. I'm not related to her. I mean, I'm related to her by marriage, but she's, well, I'm not going to say who she is, but just let's just leave it at that. She's a step relative. Okay, so this lady looks like a librarian, and this is a guy on this side. Let's go with the librarian. This little pretty little lady with some awesome vintage glasses on there. Of course, they weren't vintage at the time, were they? Okay, so let's get her glued down. She's cute. Alrighty. She does look like a librarian, though. Got her glasses on. I don't know, she looks like a teacher. Could be a student, though. Could be a senior. Or maybe the glasses make her look older than she is. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, got all our corners cut off. Okay, now that's all the pictures I have. I used them all. So next we're going to take all of the T tags and let's turn them upright so I can see. So I'm going to have to punch a little hole in the top of all of them. They all have a little hole where the original T bag string was. You can see that very clearly, but I want a little bit bigger hole so it's easier for me to get a new string through there because we're going to put a new string through. And I'm going to use a smaller hole on my crocodile here. Just want to make sure that's the big one. This is a small one. I'm going to kind of punch right over that hole, or try to, right over that hole from the original string. So I guess I could do more than one at a time, couldn't I? Well, that one didn't punch, so maybe not. No, let's cut that off. My crocodile does that, though. It does leave a little hang tag, a little hanging chad, if you will. A little hanging chad. Okay, so let's get all of these together. It might actually cut better if I have thicker piece. Oh, there's a piece that was cut from before, and that was stuck in the big hole. Okay, so we got 4 together. Let's see how it cuts through these. Whether it leaves me a hanging chad or not. Okay. Nope, it still left a hanging chad. See, this crocodile, I don't know if everybody's crocodile does that, but mine does that, so whatever. It is what it is. I just deal with it. I've never, said, oh, I'm getting a new one or anything. I just, just deal with it. Okay, so none of these have a picture. I'm going to put that to the side. That's all the ones that don't have a picture, and then these are all the ones that do have a picture. So I can line them up, right, going in the right direction. I'm going to turn them over and punch a hole right here. This is where the original hole was, so I can see what I'm kind of see what I'm doing there. Well, I don't want to punch it too far down because I don't want it to be like in the middle of their their noses are way down there halfway. I kind of want the new hole here on these to be up near the top as far as possible. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to worry about where the old hole was because you really can't. It really doesn't matter. I mean, you may or may not be able to see it, and it doesn't really matter anyway. Okay, now let me see if they all look like they're. Yeah, these are 3. Okay, these all look good. Okay, and that hole's right in their forehead, which is fine. But it just, it's right in their forehead. Okay, so we used our glue. We're going to need we might not need our glue again. So, my little thing here I want to do is just make a little tag that looks like a tea bag. Like I have tea bags, but I don't want to, like we could put these in a tea bag. I have unused tea bags that I got online. And we could actually put these in a tea bag later on. When I put them in a journal, I could put them in a tea bag or glue in the tea bag and then put this little tag that looks like a tea bag in the tea bag. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to try to cut these. Let me grab one of those. I didn't think about that. Let me grab one. They're pretty small. Here's one of the tea bags. See that? Pretty small. I got them on, I think I got these on Temu. like, I got these probably a year ago, 2 inches wide by about 2 3/4 tall. So I want the tea bag that we're making now to fit down in here, or be able to have a little tea bag tag hanging out and pull it out. So here's one scrap here. Let's measure and use this as like a little template kind of thing, and we're going to cut so that it fits in there. So about this high right here where my thumb is, my thumbnail. I'll get it right. Thumbnail, not thumb fingernail, right? Oh my goodness. You never know what's going to come out of your mouth when you're on a video. Sometimes trying to think and craft at the same time. Thumb fingernail. Okay, so we got our length, and that looks good. It looks perfect. So the width is going to be a little bit of a challenge, because let me see how far. So it opens up and it goes, yeah, there's a little, it's pretty thin. So the area where the tag has to go in, what did I say? Was it 2 inches wide? But the area where your tag goes in is, let me show you. It's about, it's under 1 3/4, and it's a little over, it's about one and a, if we do 1.5, if we can do 1.5, we'll be good. So since we're trying to really keep this to fit, let me make a little mark over on this side at the 1.5 inch mark here on the ruler with, where's my pencil? I had a pencil in here. Here it is. My little jar here beside my desk. Okay, so what did I say? 1.5, right? 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to say about right there. Oh, I need a drink all of a sudden. My throat got dry all of a sudden. I had to take a drink of coffee. I got coffee here. Fresh, pretty fresh. I made it just a little while ago. Okay, now I'm going to do another 1.5 here. And another 1.5. And we'll see how we do. And so we got our height, we got our width. Let's cut right on that little pencil mark. And then hopefully it'll be cut off when we cut, otherwise we can erase it if we're worried about it. Okay. And you know how tea bags look. They really look like little tag shapes, don't they? Kind of squatty tags sometimes. These are pretty thin because, this way, because they have to fit inside the tea bag. And usually the tea is just in the tea bag. Okay. So we have a pretty little kind of vintage look here in this paper. This scrapbook paper is coffee dyed on the back. Okay, so we're going to take these three. We'll let's see, we have four of the people, one with the people on them. So let's do, I got a little fold here, so let's just cut this. I have another piece of paper here though. Let's cut this one so we can have a variety of different papers. A little bit of a variety. This is also a vintage cardstock. This one's paper, this one's cardstock. And I'm just going to get I don't need to make that many, do I? Well, I might end up making that many. I guess we'll go ahead and cut it at our length. Let me take my template out here. lines to help me make it straight. There we go. Okay, that's a nice little strip. I can use that in my strips. So we've got our length, and now we just need our width again. Might be easier to just make some marks again with the pencil. And oh, yeah, this is 12 by 12 paper, so we got 12 inches here. And we need 1 1/2. 1 1/2. It's easier for me to do this like this. Hope everybody's staying cool. I think it's hot everywhere. I think it's hot everywhere. I'm managing to stay cool, stay in the house most of the time, or at my office when I'm at work. Stay in the office. But I did go out and kill some weeds for a few minutes today. And what else did I do out there? Oh, there were some. We have certain spots in, like, where I have plants, you know, around my yard, and little trees start growing up in between. Like, just, I don't know, the birds, you know, they drop seeds and things. So anyway, I chopped down some little trees today that were growing in places they weren't supposed to be growing. Just a few, but you know, trees, I don't mind new trees going, but not right into where they're not supposed to be new trees, right beside my house in a little garden spot, you know what I mean? So, had to cut those off. I did get all that done, but it didn't take but like 10 minutes total for everything I had to do outside, probably. So I just quick 10-minute little, and I could have killed more weeds, but I was like, I might start getting hot in another minute or so I think it's time to go in. So I don't have to, because, you know, I'm not dressed. I mean, I'm dressed and already, you know, got dressed and everything. I don't want to get all sweaty. You know how that is. So I just went out for a few minutes, did what I could do in that amount of time, which was a good amount. You know, you can kill a lot of weeds and cut down a lot of trees in 10 minutes if you want to. So that's what I did. Now, then I came right back inside, and I had some housework to do inside today too. And I'm crafting as much as possible. And so, yeah, just having really a lot of crafty fun today. And I got most of my work done already. My housework. So I got one more thing to do, which I don't have to do, but I will probably do it because I need to do it, and I'll feel better if I get it done when I go to work tomorrow. If it's not done, then I'll be thinking about it all week, thinking I have to get it done sometime during the week. So I might as well get it done today, right? Yes, ma'am. Okay, so this is how they're turning out, about this size. And I kind of want a slant look, something like, they're not gonna look like tea bags because they're a little narrow. And that's because they're not the tea bags. They're going to be the shape of like a tea bag, but a little narrower, so they can fit inside a tea bag. So this was my thought. I thought maybe it would be fun to. Well, let me punch a hole. Let's see, did I do? Let me do a couple of these. See if we can cut these at the same time too. We'll cut two here, so we can get a couple cut at the same time with our angles. Okay, and then we'll get 3 here and punch a hole. I need 4 for the picture tags. So I'm thinking that I should write a little hole again right in the middle. See, it doesn't do it on here. I didn't get any hanging chad that time. So sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, let me do a couple more here so I have plenty for the pictures, and then we'll do the other ones without the pictures too. We'll just have all kind of crafty fun today. And it's so simple, right? So if you have a yearbook or some little, well, you don't have to use pictures, but if you have some tea tags, or if you don't, you can just, you know, use something else. You know, postage stamps might be cool. Put postage stamps on some cardstock and cut around them with some edge scissors, some pinking shears, whatever. Make them look like postage stamps and make little tags out of your scraps, cardstock or paper, and there you go. You can put those together with some strings and make the exact same thing in a different way, right? Just whatever, using whatever you have. Okay, so let's punch a hole there. And I wanted to do, let me go ahead and punch these too, because I wanted a variety. I didn't want to use all the same paper on the picture ones. So this is a really good, I like this though. I'm glad Mardell, because I don't know if I would have probably never thought of doing this exact thing, maybe, I don't know. But since Mardell sent me these, they were in the same, they came in the same Happy Meal, and they were together, and they're like, they just fit together, like, you know, like they're supposed to go together. And so, you know, I do have tea tags that I've saved, and I do have a yearbook that I can cut out the pictures, so I can make more of these. I just don't know if I would have thought of it if I didn't get this in Happy Meal, and it made me think of it because they were together in the Happy Meal. Okay, there we go. Oh, no hanging chat on the paper. Scrapbook paper either. Okay, so now we can put these together. I've got a couple more to cut, but we'll do those if we get to that, if this video doesn't get too long. So I have some baker's twine. I thought I would try to see if I could hang the little picture tea tags from the new tag that we're going to put into our tea bag. So let me get along a string here, because I'm not sure how long I need it really, but I need it long enough to figure out what I'm doing without it being too short. And then I'll know how this one goes. So we got it. This is, it looks like, this is, I think this is purple and white. Purple and white. It goes together with that. I was kind of trying to pull out a dark one, and that one was on the top of my baker's twine storage, so I pulled that one out. So I kind of want this to, let's put it through here first, and I'm trying to think if I want to have it hanging like by itself, and then have it hanging, I want to have it hanging down, not like right at the top, but it can't hang down too far because these are small. So it could be right at the top, couldn't it? It would look cute right at the top, actually. And actually, you could have a short string or a long string or whatever you want to tie it on with. You could even hang it on a bulb pin, you know. So I think I'm going to try it with a normal or my usual standard little loopy string here. Let's try that first. We'll probably try it in a couple different ways here. Let's try this way. We'll try it in a couple different ways so we can see how we like it best. Or maybe we'll like it, you know, in a variety of ways. If I can get it in there, that would be nice. Okay, string, you want to cooperate, please? Okay, nope, he says no, I'm not going to cooperate. So we'll just push it on through there. There you go. This is the paper one that might not be helping any. It's not like stiff as the cardstock. We'll try cardstock next too, in a different little tie thing here so we can, okay, so before I forget what I'm doing, I got the loop there, and I'm going to go ahead and slip this on one of the strings, the little key tag. Okay. Now, let me get my ends together. And then I have to slip it through the loop. And pull it tight. And this needs to be down here. So it's kind of a double little tag. Yeah, that's, I mean, you could glue it down on there. I didn't want it to be, I wanted it to be hanging like a T-tag kind of, you know, thing. So, but you could, like, this is hanging on the tag. You could have it hanging up here like a T-tag, you know, does on a tea bag. It hangs away from the T-tag, a tea bag. Let's see this, let's see how this one fits in here. I'm sure it's going to fit because it's pretty narrow. But this tea bag's pretty narrow too, so yeah, it fits right in there. And then you have the string hanging out, and you can just pull it out. So that's cute. I like that. I needed to do something with these tea bags too. So, all right. So that's how we did that one. Let's do a cardstock one. That was a paper one. Here's a cardstock. Let's try another piece of string and tie it in a different way. So we'll tie it like a tea bag this time. So I'm going to cut a good long string here because I'm going to need to tie a couple of knots in the ends, I think is what I'm thinking. So we'll go ahead and, I think I'll tie this on last because I want to see. Let me tie it on here first, and then I want to make sure of how I want to tie it on the other end as far as right side up, upside down, backwards, forwards, that type of thing. So let's tie this in a knot here. Let me tie a double knot. Get my string turned around here. Why is it so hard to tie a knot on video? Okay. Let's see. Have my knot in front there. Okay. That is fine. And have a little tail there, so I like that. It looks kind of nice. See, I have a little tail like that. And this will be hanging. And then we're going to tie our other side, our tea bag, our tea tag that we made on the other end. Here's the other two with the girls. So I think just like this is how it should be. And then we'll tie a knot down here in no particular way. We're just going to tie a double knot just like we did on the other side. And you get to see the little quote, you get to see the little picture, and same thing on the other one. But the other one you kind of have to turn it over, and this one will be just hanging like a tea bag tag. Like that. So I only got one tea bag out right now. I have more in my closet, but I'll get those out later. So we'll pull this one out if we can. It's getting stuck on the kind of the lip of the tea bag there. Okay. And this one will be different because this one will have the tag in there, and the little tea tag will be hanging out here. Or you mean you could tuck it down in there too, but I think that's cute to have the little tea, like because this is a tea bag, so it's kind of like, you know, looks like a tea bag with this little tea tag hanging out. But when you pull on it, you don't get tea, you get a tag. So that's cute. All right, that's another way to do it. Now, which way do we like best? That is a little difficult to tell. Let's make one more of each paper and the cardstock pieces. And I don't know how many. Let me see. We got two, and we got two more pictures. And we got one, or we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more without the pictures. And we have 1, 2, well, that we already cut. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, perfect. So I don't even really need to cut these right now. Those will be extra. Okay, let's get this show on the road here. So I'm going to make 2 more with the tea bag look, the long string with the tea tag on the end. I like both of them, but I kind of like that one because it's different, you know. I've never done that exact thing before, so it's unique for me anyway. I don't know, maybe you've seen it. It's probably been, I'm sure it's been done before. I'm 100% sure it's been done before. But I don't know who. I have no idea. I haven't seen it myself, but I'm sure everything's been done before. Believe me, just when you think something hasn't been done, it's been done. But you know, you'll find it's been done 15 years ago when usually Like you think it's, oh, this has never been done. I'm the first one to do it. And then you find, you're like, oh, look, you post your video and you're like, oh my goodness, somebody did this 15 years ago. That is funny, right? Okay, so I like that little tail, so I'm going to try to do that again on the tag part. Well, you almost can't help it but have a little tail there, because you got to tie your knot. And you're not going to be, the knot can be in the front or the back. I kind of like the knot in the front. And then your little picture, which you tie upside down, because I mean you could tie it this way. Does it matter? I kind of like it this way though. I feel like it goes this way. I don't know. I feel like it goes that way, but it probably wouldn't matter either way. It probably wouldn't matter really. It's just going to be hanging. It's just going to be hanging however it wants to hang, right? So I don't think it matters. Alright, we did another one just that quick. That's a papery one. So fun. We don't need this pencil, I don't think. Alright, and so we need one more string for the picture ones. And it might even be more important to, oh, I must have cut that string and then forgotten to cut another string. Okay, let me cut a couple more strings here. So I need one there, and then I need 5 over there. So one, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hey, we've got all our strings cut. We're getting close to getting these done in a decent amount of time here, I think. We got a bunch of trash right here, too. There's another little crafty thing I wanted to do, another craft with me that you can look forward to. I'm not going to say what it is right now, because it's kind of different. And of course, I'm sure it's been done before, but I've never done it before, so I think it'll be quite interesting. But another simple craft with me, another simple thing. I'm sure it'll be very simple, but just the elements I'm using I never used before, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. Can't wait to. I have a pile of things behind me that that are involved in it, and so I have to do that video because I have that pile of stuff sitting there, and I just can't leave a pile of stuff sitting there, so. It might be the next video. It probably will. And then I gotta get started on a journal that I have in my head. I keep having ideas for journals and then I forget, so I need to write it down. I have one that is stuck in my head though, so I guess that's going to be the next one. Alright, there's another one. We're going to line them up here. This one's in the tea bag. We'll put that one on the end. This is the one we did where it's attached down here. All these, this has the ones. So do we use all of our pictures? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we did. Okay. So these are going to be super simple. And I can add up something later if I want to, but I think it's kind of neat just to see how the T tag. There, you don't even have to put anything on the T tag, do you? No, you can just use your little T tags that you've been saving. I know I have some in my closet. I have some tea boxes and some tea, like the little packet that you kind of rip open and take the tea bag out. I have those, and I have the tea tags. So I don't save the used tea bags though. I have tea bags, new tea bags from Temu. I'm sure you can get them on Amazon too. It just, when I was ordering them, it was a couple years ago when Temu's prices were much lower. I mean, I don't know what they are now. I'm trying not to order from Temu just because, I don't know. It's kind of fun. It's kind of a nice challenge to try to just challenge myself to you know, use what I get from thrift stores, and then if I really need something else to get it, you know, I get it online, or I could always go to Hobby Lobby. I wish some of the websites, though, you know, I know they have to cover their costs and everything, but I really do wish their prices for shipping weren't quite. But it is what it is. I mean, the post office just keeps raising their rates, so you know what's anybody to do? You know, they just keep going up. It's crazy. Put themselves. I mean, they're not going to put themselves out of business, but they're going to put everybody else out of business. I don't think they're going to put. Well, if they put everybody else out of business, then they might put themselves out of business. Oh, that's a shorter one. I didn't mean to do that, but look at that. You don't have to have quite a tall one, do you? Quite as long as the other ones. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just make some shorter strings. Yeah, I like that. The long ones would have the pictures on them, and they'll go in the. And these will go in tea bags too. But yeah, a little shorter of string. Isn't that nice? Trust creates peace. That's what it says on this one. Yeah, I like that. I already cut these strings, so we'll see. I must have cut these strings a little shorter. Yeah, I like that a lot. A little bit shorter string, but I still like the string. I still like the string with it up, you know, not right on the tag, but I still like, you know, the tag on one end of the string and the little tea tag on the other end of the string. I like that because it looks like a tea bag. Art is cute and different and still very simple to make. All right. Now my challenge is to get all of these made. I still have, oh, that one has a little bit of a, it's torn right there. So, what am I going to do with that? Something. We're going to tie it for one thing. We're going to go ahead and tie it. But I'm going to need to, I don't know if it'll stay because it's got a tear there. I should, maybe after I tie it, I'll put some glue on there. Or should I do it before I tie it? Let me do it now. Like I've got one. No, let me go ahead and tie the other knot. I just won't tie it too tight. Won't tie it too tight so I can get glue under there. And then I'll just, it'll all be glued together, I think. If I can get the strings to actually, or my fingers to work here. There we go. Tying tiny knots. Sometimes on video isn't the easiest thing. Okay. Now a little glue under this one. Let's see, I got my art glitter glue right here. Because that one actually has a slit where this can just slip right off. So I'm going to put a little glue over that on both sides. I got, oh, there it goes. I was going to say, I got this flowing before the video, so, you know, I was prepared, but, all right, so I put glue on both sides so that can dry and kind of solidify there. Hopefully it'll be fine. Let that dry over there. Got 3 more. Whew. So we're just tying a double knot on each end. There's really no faster way to tie a knot than to just do it, right? 1 and 2. I'm going to tie these 2. Oh, I just had my leg crossed and my foot feels like it's falling asleep. I try not to cross my legs because I know it's not good for your legs and your feet and stuff to cross your ankles or cross your legs. It's not good for blood flow. You all know that, I'm sure. But anyway, sometimes you do it without thinking about it, and then you're like, oh, what am I doing? My foot's falling asleep now. Okay. Okay. All right. And then one more with the onto the tag. Oops. I don't know. It doesn't really matter which. I've been putting them in the front though. Doesn't really matter, I'm sure. So I hope you crafted with me or took me along with whatever you're doing today. Let me know. Are you doing dishes? Are you eating lunch? Eating breakfast? Drinking your coffee? Waking up? Going to sleep? Crafting. If you're crafting, what are you making? Let me know in the comments. Okay. 3 tags and we're done. We used them all. Oop, this one is torn too. Let's see. This one torn. This one. Oops, they're all torn. Okay. Trying to think. I can't think. I mean, you could put a little piece of tape on there, but I don't really want to do that. So I think I'm going to just stick with the glue here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put glue on now, though, this time. So it can start kind of drying. And I just want a solid piece of glue over there, like a glue dot or something. Okay. Yeah, and then if I tie the knot, double knot, it might, that might help it too. I mean, if the glue dries with the string over the glue, then you would think that would kind of solidify that whole little top part together, right? And reinforce it where it was ripped. That is the idea. That is the plan. Okay, there's another little short one. That's cute. I like those little short ones. Really cute. I really like those. Now I know what to do with my other tea tags. I will be doing this because I love it so much. And then you can use up scraps too. Getting down to the nitty-gritty here, my friends. Okay. Double knot. And the first time I pulled it through. Did you see that? First time. You knew it was going to happen. You're probably like, how is she not pulling it through? Well, I did it. I pulled it through. You could also staple it on here. You don't have to do this little knot thing. You could just staple it on like a tea bag. Has it just stapled on, A lot of times it's just stapled. A little staple on there. Okay, try that again. I was almost done. I jinxed myself by saying we're down to the nitty-gritty. Alright, being careful. Not pulling too tight, but I do want to do a double knot. I might not be able to. Let's see. I got too cocky or something there. It was like just tying away and it just slipped through. Okay. It's on there. Let me see if I can pull it a little tighter. I just want to. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit more glue under there. All this for a little tea tag, right? But they're so cute. Okay, and then these are all going to be put into those tea bags too. I'm so glad that this whole thing came about because those tea bags had just been sitting in my closet doing nothing. So this many, however many this is, 9 tea bags will be used now. I don't know how many are in there, but there's probably more than 9, so I'll be able to make a few more and possibly use up all those tea bags, which, you know, I wouldn't mind. And you can always make, like, if you don't have tea bags, actual tea bags, you can always make your own little pocket, you know, you don't have to have a tea bag. So that's what I would do when I use up my tea bags. I won't order more tea bags, I'll just make little pockets or tuck spots to put them in, you know. I think it would be fun to make a little pocket, you know, a little tiny pocket. You can make it out of fabric. I like little mini fabric pockets made, you know, with fabric scraps or just a little scrap of paper or whatever. Put it in a journal, glue it down on a page and add a little tea tag like this into that pocket. So, yeah. It was fun to have the tea bags one time, but I wouldn't order them again. I'm not like tea bag crazy or anything. I just wanted to try them once, but I wouldn't order them again. No, that's not necessary. Not necessary. Just as soon use some pretty paper, right, or fabric. Okay, there we did it. We used them all. What do you think? All done. So let me know if you like the little string with the tag on the end, or do you like it like this better? I like both of them, but I really like the little string. That's my favorite out of the, you know, using the tea tags like that on a tag. I think that's really cute because it's a tea bag tag. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you crafted along with me or took me along with you, whatever you were doing. And I'll see you in my next video. Stay tuned for the next one that I mentioned. From the little pile of stuff I have to use up behind me, it's different. It's of different materials anyway, so you'll see in the next, probably the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Have a great day.